Hello, friends, and welcome to Talking with Famous People. I am your host Eric, and I believe this time it is working. I've attempted a couple of live streams prior to this, but I restarted the computer and now it seems to be working. The topic is environment and self-growth, or if you want, Officer Red is here to help to answer any of your questions. Should you have any questions for Officer Red, she says she'd be happy to answer them. So anyway, obviously, Officer Red's self-growth is contingent upon her having an environment where she can eat worms and otherwise be a wonderful chicken friend. My self-growth is also dependent on the same thing. So Red and I are a lot alike in that regard. There you go, sweetie. You're down on the ground now. So I was prompted to consider this as a topic because, in large part, hello, Sheila. Sheila W. is here. First one, apparently, Sheila. First one of two total, apparently. So I was trying to make this somewhat by Frank James's video and somewhat by Ernest's conversation with me the other day, in which he talked about having a difficult environment, or an environment that wasn't conducive to his function stack, really, and how he thinks it may have caused him to be a somewhat more cautious ENFP than someone who grew up in a more permissive environment, which made me think to myself, well, I wonder, it brings up the question of how does an environment affect your current capacity for growth, or does your current capacity for growth mean foremost you have to change environments or something? Because it's true that people get stuck. Yes, that's right. And up. Red can hear you, and that's not. Well, she probably just thinks it means dinner for her. Actually, Sheila, as far as she knows, all chicken dinners are just dinners for her. Because we don't really eat chicken in the house anymore. We don't bring it home and cook it. So, for example, today has been a difficult day for me because Kimberly has been for a couple of weeks now starting to bitch about her brother a lot and how she expects him to be doing this and that and he's not and whatever. And so he's leaving today, but she's very upset. She has a lot of anger in her bosom, and I hear about it a lot. She complains about her brother a lot to me right now. So one of the outcomes of that is, I don't necessarily want to hear all that negativity, but at the same time, I can understand she's expressing herself and she's not in the most, she's not thrilled about the situation as it currently is. And I'm not thrilled about it either. But the thing is, Ruben's leaving today because, in part at least, because he pissed me off. So it's not gonna be a good way to maintain the existing status quo. He's just not doing enough to justify our continuing to help him, I guess you could say. So regardless, I realize that my environment, by and large, is very conducive to me doing what I want to do. Getting work done, usually, to feeling pretty positive about things, and to just, more or less being able to live less encumbered than I might otherwise be able to live. And so I I'm struck by the fact that a lot of people don't have that, and okay, and that yeah, well, family can be hard to deal with, and it's not my brother, so obviously the thing is, Kimberly's much more interested in the specifics of it than I am. I'm sort of interested in it in a general sense, like, well, he seems like a nice guy. We can help him. We'll help him for a while. I don't really worry about getting taken advantage of. Kimberly does, and that makes a substantial difference in how we interact with one another. I mean, interact with the situation. Kimberly gets very upset by it because it's reminiscent for her of being mooched off before and stuff. I'm not really worried about it because as soon as I don't like it anymore, it's done, you know. I don't have any problem saying no. That's my kitty. Oh, P and P. Oh, the P. I mean, we've been letting him stay here while he fixed some things in his life, and he's working some, but he's, I don't know, he's not doing enough to make it such that Kimberly's not bitching about it, and she wants the basement back. And I mean, he's very unobtrusive. I'll grant him that for sure. Like he makes himself very scarce in general. I don't see much of him, and it's not a big problem. But no, I mean, sort of, not really. Andrew Claypool. Growth environments can facilitate growth in later life if you start off in a bad environment. I think, though, it just means you have further to grow. I don't necessarily think there's anything good about starting off in a bad environment. In general, I think environments need to be controlled such that the people in them are safe to be themselves without a lot of ontological violence, you know, checking each other all the time and stuff. He's 40. He ran into some trouble and shit, whatever. I'm a little more sympathetic than she is, or than maybe many of the people here are, but I can understand that it's obviously not gonna play well that for him, but the thing is, he just, there needs to be a certain amount of scramble if you're gonna be needing that kind of help. He's an ESFJ. Yeah, she does have a lot more history she's bringing with her. I don't have any history of being mooched off of, because if I'm letting something happen, it's because I feel comfortable with it. And if I don't feel comfortable with it anymore, I'm not going to tolerate it for very long. I don't know if that's a good or a bad thing, but that's just how it is, you know? So anyway, the environmental issue is probably of more pressing concern in a lot of people's self-development arc than some other factor that may be prioritized. So it would seem to me that a lot of sort of psychological suggestions and advisings and strategies and such ignore the external, because the only thing you can really control in your own life is yourself, etc. But I think maybe more effort in general, or more attention, needs to be given towards successfully controlling the external. And you may not be able to control other people, but you can certainly control your presence in an environment, and you can go someplace else potentially. Now, not everybody can't go someplace else, and that's when situations get especially difficult. But I think that there's a lot of inertia in a lot of people, including myself, that allows something that's normalized but not good to persist. And just because it's been normalized, it's like both parties are accustomed to it. So it's a Monday evening here in Los Angeles. It's only 6:30 p.m. A bit of a slow evening on the live stream I see, which is totally expected on occasion. One is going to have a range of statistical spread, and I haven't quite figured out yet where it is that live streaming is most effective time-wise. I would have thought Monday evening around this time would be an effective time, but we're 10 minutes in. I only got 8 people watching it. 10 now, but it's still I would say less action than the average, probably. So anyway, regardless of that, I do evaluate those things and try to sort of figure out YouTube. I was enjoying watching Megan Laboda's, or I didn't really watch much of it, but I was enjoying getting ready to watch Megan Laboda's video of her 7,000 subscribers, what I've learned from being on YouTube or something video. I thought that was kind of interesting. I see. You didn't receive a notification for this. You just happened to be on YouTube when you started. I had some problems with the live stream today. I started it twice and it didn't work. And then I started it a third time and it seems to be working. But that's certainly possible, save the bees. And if we don't notify the other bees, then how will they escape the tidal wave? Let's see. What else do I have to say about environments and self-growth and such? For people in a good environment, I think is also easy to take that for granted and to assume that environments are always good. And when we're dealing with other people to go, well, why don't you just meow? And not understand that their situation affords them a lot less flexibility in some ways than other people's. People might still be at work. Maybe. The environment affects you a lot. I was in a situation with roommates I didn't like very much, and it was a toxic environment as I couldn't afford to move out. Resentment started, and yeah, not good. Right. AB also didn't receive a notification. Well, I don't know why. Save the bees. Haha, you love my username, don't you? I do love your username. Hi, Amber. And so, by the way, Amber, our video I planned for tonight fell through, so I ended up doing this. You're right on the money. Save the Bees seems like an INFP name. You're right on the money. I agree. It does seem like an INFP name. There's a lot of emotion in things like Save the Bees or ASPCA and stuff like that. It's I'm really emotionally affected by shit I see on TV, and I realize how desperately I avoid it, actually. And that's obviously, I guess, a component of polar FI as well. So, for example, Kimberly and I were in bed the other night, and she was watching this show called Home Fires, which is like a PBS World War II historical drama set in England. She likes that kind of shit a lot, like your period pieces where everyone's dressed in costumes and talks with an English accent. And there's a scene in it where this guy, he hits his wife in a very particularly violent fashion, and it very much disturbed me, such that I woke up in the middle of the night, I was angry about it, and then I woke up the next day and I was still thinking about it, and I don't like that, you know. It's like, I don't like to have my emotions impacted negatively in that fashion. It causes me to be you know, to focus on negative shit. And like, Kimberly loves watching that stuff. She'll watch all those crime shows where, you know, then he raped the 12-year-olds, like that kind of shit. It's like crime things. And I walk through the room just like, la, 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 la. I don't want to hear anything about this. It's going to be awful. I don't know. I'm actually very sensitive towards like awfulness. Awfulness makes me, I feel like, don't pay any attention to that. Stop, 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 stop. So, I don't know. In a way that it's indicative of strong feelings, which is odd for FI polar, but I think it's also indicative of not being able to deal with feelings well, being strongly avoidant of anything that makes you feel bad at all. Well, I don't mind certain kind of violence. Like, I don't mind war movie violence, but like that, which was a scene where the character had this, it was like the character, the woman had gone and given a speech that had gone over very well at some place. And then, but her husband, who was a domestic violence guy, didn't like that for some reason, for some stupid ass reason. And he hit her really hard. And, it was like, it was all the implications of it too. It's not just the violence itself. I don't mind gratuitous violence. Gratuitous violence is fine, like war movies or Star Wars or whatever. But violence that seems like real life like that, I can't watch that at all. That's it's really difficult to watch. I don't like cringe comedy either. I tend to be very sensitive about stuff that makes me cringe. So much so that when I'm listening to talk radio, if it's a live call-in show, if somebody's like listening to a live call-in show in a car, I get very, very tense because I don't like live call-in shows. They take callers from the radio from the air. It's unreliable. I don't feel like I'm in safe hands, FE wise. It's probably, I guess it's an FE thing. I don't want to encounter awkwardness. Saving Private Ryan haunted you? Platoon haunted me. I was young when I saw Platoon as a teenager or something, and it haunted me for years. Do you have bees or make honey? Is that where the name's from? She has bees in her butt. She keeps them. She keeps a bunch of bees in her butt because sometimes if somebody's chasing her, she needs to shoot them out so they go sting that person. I like some dark movies, but more surreal, like David Lynch type stuff. Yeah, that kind of stuff's okay, I guess. David Lynch makes movies with like no gore, but it's terrifying because of the music and the atmosphere. Probably an NI user, I would agree. And you keep your bees in your butt. Oh, I was supposed to keep that confidential, huh? Sorry, that's really my bad. I really feel bad now. Say the Bees sent me a confidential Facebook message saying, shh, don't tell anybody, but I keep a bunch of bees in my butt. And I said, okay, I won't tell anybody. Now I have. So if you've got bee butt related secrets, obviously I can't be trusted with them. My all-time favorite movie is The Wizard of Oz. I never tired of that one. It's pretty good, I guess. It's not that bad, really. I wouldn't even put it in my top 1 million, but it's pretty good. It's not bad. Like, it is pretty good. Fargo is really good. So is Nightmare Before Christmas. I like that one a lot. I was going to mention there might be an aspect of weaker FE. Yeah, maybe it is. Another good movie. Let me think of other good movies that I've enjoyed over the course of my life. I haven't seen a whole ton of movies in recent years. Hello, Zandy. How's it going? I think people who see violence in real life may be more sensitive to seeing it in films, but it's weird because with some personalities it makes them less sensitive to it. So I don't know. I don't know either. I'm not really. I mean, I guess I've led a fairly charmed life. I haven't been subject to much violence, and I haven't seen much of it up close and personal. And yeah, Indiana Jones is really good. The first one was really good. I liked a lot of those kind of movies back in the day. And yeah, movies are difficult for me because I don't really see them very often. I think the last movie I saw was in the theater anyway, was probably that movie about the Catholic Church and the Boston Globe and the sexual abuse scandal and stuff. It was called, I forget what it's called. My dad recommended I go see it, and I did. Very interesting. I want to see there are various movies I'd like to see but don't usually. Christmas Vacation is a favorite of mine. Very funny movie with Chevy Chase. Yeah, I like. I agree. Ideally, a movie serves my candy taste more than anything else. I don't really want to watch some sort of serious foreign film with heavy existential stuff in it in general. I like my entertainment lighthearted by and large, with some exceptions. I enjoyed movies like I enjoyed the Step Brothers a lot. I liked I don't know. I like action films. I like films with lots of people chasing around each other and shooting each other with guns. Like Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels. That's a pretty good movie. It's action packed, and there's some like Chinese or Asian movies that are super action packed, like Hong Kong. People shooting with guns every direction. Okay, what are some of your favorite movies?
Damn. But Mason has a big hole in his head.
We know.
What happened?
You got in a fight or something? What are some of your favorite movies, Delilah?
I feel like I want to pass out right now, so I can't really think. So I have to go.
Thinking's impossible, huh?
Yeah, I don't feel good at all, but probably Kill Bill Volume 2.
Kill Bill Volume 2.
I like Moonrise Kingdom a lot too.
Moonrise Kingdom?
Yeah.
I haven't heard of that.
I think we watched it together.
Really?
I think we went to the movie theater and watched it together, and it's a Wes Anderson film. It's about those kids. Okay, I have to go. I don't feel bad.
I'm sorry you don't feel good. Have you eaten anything?
No, that's probably why. Well, I've had actually iced coffee and a bag of Skittles.
Okay, you need to eat something, sweetie.
Okay, I'm going to go do that right now.
All right, you do that.
Okay, bye. Look at my sweater.
Pulp Fiction's a good movie. Hot Fuzz, I don't think I've seen it. Fight Club is good. Fight Club is good.
Reservoir Dogs.
Reservoir Dogs? I haven't seen Reservoir
I like
Dogs, believe it or not.
Kill Bill Volume 2, so should watch it.
Cloud Atlas. Is that an anime movie? When I was young, we used to watch various anime movies like Totoro and Kiki's Delivery Service and such. Have you ever watched some of those old horror movies, like the first few Godzilla movies? It's like in Japanese and just dumb. You can see the strings coming off the Godzilla and the music is hilarious. Yeah, it used to be on TV a lot when I was a kid because it wasn't seen that way back then. It was just sort of presented as, well, here's a science fiction-y thing. And now for the science fiction hour on one of your 4 channels on TV. People who are not of a certain age would trip out to spend a few weeks in the pre everything days when there was like 4 channels on TV, before cable, when phones were all you push the button, there was a landline, and that was it. And there was no portable phones, no computers, no cable TV, no satellite TV or anything like that. No internet, obviously. That was a weird time period, if you think about it. How different it was. When people left each other's sides, they expected to be completely out of contact. I still enjoy Twilight Zone. I watched an episode the other day. You could never get yourself to watch Planet of the Apes. I was extremely scared to watch that. I forced myself to watch it a month ago. And did you discover that it was, in fact, Zandy, not very frightening?
It's frightening. It's so weird. It's creepy and hard to watch. I couldn't watch it either. I couldn't watch Gumby. I couldn't watch
You couldn't watch Gumby?
No, it was just creepy.
It
What was
was
the other one about the Bible?
I mean, that was
Davy and Goliath.
David and
Another
Goliath,
fucking
yeah.
creepy ass show.
Everybody here familiar with Davy and Goliath? It's a weird show. It used to be on when we were kids. Planet of the Apes could happen in real life if apes somehow managed to get to that point. At what point? To the point of sapience? I still don't think they'd beat us. Zandy, what is your type? She's an apophobe, Sheila. She's terrified of apes. Brian, yo, what's up, host Eric? Any advice for helping my lazy ENFP brother who's failing high school disastrously, refused to work or study or put forth any effort?
No suggestions here. We got our own problem here.
I mean,
hope to God he doesn't turn 44 and have the same problems.
Cam, are you not talking about me, huh?
You're not 44, Eric.
Right.
A little bit of a complex.
Well, I'm used to you using that tone of voice when talking about me. I'm accustomed to you saying things that aren't necessarily related to facts, so it's not so much of a stretch to think that I would do that. What would you say are the hallmarks of NI versus NE creativity? I think NI creativity, it factors everything in, and any creativity doesn't, which makes the any user more free and also more prone to mistakes. I mean, almost not just prone to them, guaranteed to make lots of mistakes, because the NI is it's not conscious, so that means we're not attending to the reality of the whole. We're attending to the part in front of us. We lose the forest for the trees. You lose the trees for the forest. If we're talking about problems on both sides. So, or I guess you'd say you were troubled by the forest's imperfect trees in some regard. Like, well, you're troubled by the forest. You have forest tree issues because of the TE too. How do I get all these trees into a forest? Or how do I get this forest out of all these trees is a better way to put it. Like, I've got all these trees that are here, obviously, but I see the forest as I see the forest. Now, how do I get all those trees from there to here? That's a challenge for INFJ. And for ENTP, the challenge is I've got this one super big tree, and these other trees aren't proportional to that tree now, and the forest looks like shit. You know. Well, I'll just make these other trees look like shit too. Then it'll look like it's on purpose. That's sort of an any move. Zandy is a Sesdi apopopophobe. What's that? A Zesty apopopophobe? You're an apophobe. Oh, you're an apophobe. I think you put an extra P in there. I don't think it's an apopophobe. Apophobe. It's just an apophobe without there's no P, I think. That's true. You are an apophobe. I guess as an ENFP, I did all right. I don't have major issues with motivation. ENFPs just have less willpower. Well, they don't have TI, so in school TI kind of helps a little bit, you know. So for them, it's for ENTPs. They always know I could kick ass at this if I wanted to, And if there's enough social reward for doing so, I will. I think that's what's underlying EHP. And if there's enough social consequence for not doing well, I won't not do well. And so we'll tend to get by. We don't want to incur the social consequences of actually failing. So would NI be more into the overall concept of the art? NI has a vision in sort, but like, let's say when Amber and I make a video together, probably she doesn't have a clear vision of what that video ought to be when we go in, but she has some concerns, I would guess, regarding ways it could go wrong. And when it's done, she at that point has a vision of perhaps what it ought to have been. Because the thing is, I tend to throw her into shit, right? Like, quickly, Amber, jump into this fast-flowing river. We're going over there. And she'll just be like, okay. So I think that if given more time to like talk ahead of time about what we were going to do, look at the stuff we were going to talk about, and let her and I sit with it for a day or two, she'd probably approach things from, the video would probably be a lot better because her and I would be served as well as my NE. Like I'm throwing her into something where it's like, okay, it's any time you like that, it's ignoring for you. You'll be fine. And she is fine, and she does like that sort of, but she would probably go better if I let her gather her ammunition too, you know? So Sheila W says, I cleaned my house today and really paid attention to how I felt, and I realized cleaning energized me, and I feel so present and alert. I'm really trying to see functions in me. What do you think that is? SI? Cleaning your house? Or do you think it's SE? Probably it's for you more SE than SI, I would guess. Because I don't think you'd find the SI particularly gratifying. I mean, it can be 8-slot stuff. I don't know. It depends. TE is about situational problem solving, right? And so why are TE used notorious for being arbitrary qualifications to certification or degrees validated? Because those individuals displayed they resonate on a TE scale. Those people knew how to attain those things. The fact that they were able to attain those things means they knew how to attain those things, and presumably the attainment criteria of those things knows how to distinguish people who are qualified from people who are not. So it's a trusting of all sorts of TE methodologies. TI, which wants to evaluate the quality of the thing independently of those externals, goes, I don't care what your qualifications are. I will determine your merit on my own because I am accustomed to evaluating things from a disinterested third-party perspective, which gives me confidence that I'll evaluate it correctly. Professional victim. Who's professional victim? It says, tell Kimberly to respond to my text, please. Is that Ruben? I don't know. Or is it Abraham, probably? Oh, it's Abraham. A popopope with a combined pair of primates and cops. That is absolutely brilliant, Joey Shabadoo. A popopope is a combined pair of apes and cops, I would say. Not all primates. Okay. That would be a primate popopope. If I give my type away, I lose my charm. Oh, you lose your charm. Well, don't you want to loose it, or are you keeping it on a leash? Oh, you mean lose with one O. Well, Zandy, I know you have FE, says Sheila skeptically. At Joey Joe. That's too funny. Yeah, it is. Amber's getting a little bit better with fast moving rivers. Yeah. How would you know which it is, SE or SI? I rarely clean, but when I do, I feel great after it feeds the mind up to explore creative ideas for me and necessary evil. I think there's a couple of I haven't declared war yet on the Axis powers. I'm mulling it over, you know. I think what I've done in my saber rattling has made them have some second thoughts about their warlike intentions. So let's see here. Well, I think all of us intuitives have a need to do physical world shit sometimes. And like, I know I do. I have to go worming with the chicken, dig up the dirt, stuff like that periodically, because I just get too caught up in my head and just too much of this shit, you know, like just too much ideation and too little actual world. Hulk Hogan has a very important question for me. Do I like Reuben sandwiches? Yes, I do like Reuben sandwiches, actually, quite a bit. And Sheila's still not eating sauerkraut. That's wonderful. I forgot why we're not eating it. Was it for the war? For the war effort? Okay. Would you ever do a typing of a live YouTuber? Sure. I'd do it live, no problem. I mean, I'm sure I have already. War on Harmony. Regarding the war, nice chess move today and saying you like Frank James. Oh, thanks, Desert INTJ. You're keeping track of that stuff, huh? That's yeah. What types care what people think but are bad at managing perceptions anyway? Just FE third or fourth slot, or do FI users have this problem? I think ESFPs have that problem a lot. ESFPs seem to have a desperate need to control people's perceptions despite their 6th slot FE and their fact that they're absolutely horrible at it. So I don't know why exactly, but maybe it's just well, yeah, I'm interested in what's going on with Vasselin as well, because he invited me to this like review thing. Would you want to participate in this reviewing of this Twilight Zone episode? And I said, okay. And in fact, I even downloaded it. He sent me the link to it. I downloaded it. I watched it. I was ready to go. And but he had me on this like group chat for scheduling it, and they couldn't come up with a schedule time. And then after a day or two, he removed me from that group chat. So I don't know.
Who?
Vasserlin. Good question. That's how I am. I'd like to be more liked, but at the same time, I don't care enough to. I mean, that sounds like 4th slot. I think that sentiment there is most likely to be a 4th slot sentiment. You had me review a clip from an English show. Oh, so you're not doing an episode with him anymore either, or are you still doing it? How was the English show? Maybe it's just a prank to get me to waste my time watching an episode of the Twilight Zone. It seems like not a very gotcha prank, but maybe. Was it a show about English? Like, this is a predicate adjective. It links to the subject via the linking verb. Zonde is German. Oh, Zandy is German? Well, if you live in Germany, Zandy, I can't ship that across the sea. That's going to be expensive. I assumed you were American. I assumed you were a decent American. I didn't know you were one of those foreigners living across the ocean. I somehow ended up on a live stream. I thought it was just chat. I think I said maybe 10 words. Oh. Well, I bet they were the best damn 10 words anyone ever heard. My name is Amber, and I think that is good. So how do we know if Anthony's single? I think Anthony's single.
Because we asked him.
Kimberly asked him. Zandy sounded like a classy porn name. Turns out it's German. Oh, is she really from Germany? Do you live in Stuttgart, Zandy? Yeah. Go down to the station of the Polizei and say, my name is Zandy, and I'm here from Stuttgart to say hello. I was learning German in high school. Okay, from California. Oh, I thought you were, I was starting to think you were from Stuttgart, Zandy. And you know how they are in Stuttgart. I thought you just said Germany. Feel, become, remain, taste, seem, appear, look, linking verbs. Yes, as is, are, am, as, was, were. And feels is not necessarily a linking verb. If I feel your boob, it's not a linking verb. That's a transitive verb. But if I feel guilty about feeling your boob, then that's a linking verb. This ENTP needs some INFJ loving. Hook it up. I'm Annie Pan. Well, hi, Annie Pan. I give a few coworkers the ordinal assessments you came up with concrete correlations can be drawn from the order of preferences. Oh, yeah, it's funny. I just deleted the instructions from that document. I don't think I ever put it anyplace else. It's first of all, the one about what you find evil, I don't find there to be any particular correlations there. So I just use it as a starting point to ask them why they picked that to get a sense of what their values are. So I don't find the one about what you find to be evil to be indicative of anything, really. The last one, the one that talks about what you'd like, which things you'd like to hand off to a significant other, you should have fourth slot is first in a textbook answer key. Remember, those things don't ever provide that usually. It's gonna deviate from the textbook to some extent, and you're gonna look to see, well, which is it closest to according to the textbook, or is it just a mishmash? It's just a starting point. But anyway, 4th, 7th, 6th, 8th are gonna be the first 4 in some order, probably. And on the first one, it's just gonna be 5 will probably be above 3, and it would go like 1, 2, 5, and then maybe 3, 8, 7, 4 or something, because all those things are in the order of ENTP. And then the second one, which is which value you finna smash.
Oh, you got weed growing out of your ears.
That one should prioritize 5 ahead of maybe even 2. 3 and 5 will be up higher than the tool function, in theory. Does it actually work like that? I don't know. It's a starting spot. Let's see here. Any idea what Stefan Molyneux's type is? I don't know if I've really seen much of him. Hands off. Hands off your boobs? Okay, no problem. What is an ideal environment for an ENTP? I think maybe the top of a mountain.
Bed. The bed.
Ideal environment is in front of their computer, probably.
And then in bed.
In bed and smoking weed and with some nice food and lots of SI help.
Lots of spoiledness.
Only fools and horses. Only fools and horses. The British comedy with the hilarious humor that just can't be stopped. What do you think? Yeah, I can get really dramatic a lot of the time, although he does cover pretty heavy topics. Okay. What do you think the relationship between someone with an 8th slot function and someone with it as their third is? So SE third, well, that's going to be probably a conflicted relationship because it's going to be like ENTP and ENTJ and ENFJ. And I would say that that's a fairly conflict-heavy relationship because I think the problem is really, I think it's the 2-5 that's the problem. If you're fifth, so like if you are an INFP, you don't think much of my TI, even though it's your 8th slot function. No, I'm sorry. You don't think much of my FE. If you're an INFP, you don't think much of my FE. But no, it's the 5th NI plus then NI there. So be like, who's got my second function as their 5th? Oh, if you're a TE DOM, if you're an ESTJ or an ENTJ, you don't think much about my TI. You just think it's like, okay, yeah, I see you're using that again. You're not using it deftly enough. That's how I think people are about when your 5th function is their tool function, you're going to have some problems with them because in a way you understand their tool function better than they do, but you don't consciously at all, and you don't like the way they use it really. Ideal environment for an ENTP is war. Ideal environment for an ENTP is something where there's lots of need to act. That's true, and lots of interesting ways to act about it, and that's rewarding of ideational jumping around, which is not very many environments. You think about it. There are not a lot of environments that are. I think really the ideal environment for an ENTP is YouTube. It's the ideal environment. It allows you to jump around. It's failure tolerant. It's success rewarding, and it's conducive to somebody who has lots of ideas and not necessarily have them super fleshed out or anything. You know, most people who do a lot of YouTube videos don't spend a ton of time on each video because they probably understand and have been trained by YouTube's system to make more videos. I went to war last night on Winter and won. Yeah. That guy was, what a silly goose. The irony of that masculine feminine function thing is that it's the most FE frame of looking at things. That alone makes Jonah Dempsey being an NFJ all the more plausible. It is an FE. You're right. It is a very FE frame of way of looking at things because it's evaluating. The masculinity and femininity are really perceptions of others. They're not exactly expressions of self. Like little kids, like let's say you got a little boy who's very flamey, and he's like 3 or 4 years old. But just very flamboyant and gay and stuff. And he doesn't realize it at first that he's being feminine. Because it's not an expression. Feminine is a judgment of others. It's not really an expression of the self. It was interesting when the purported INTJ returned me the test with FE ranked in the top 3 on the first 2. Yeah, that doesn't make much sense. That's probably not an INTJ. But thanks, Joe Shabadoo, and Sheila. I appreciate it. I'm not gay, but I've been asked a lot. Well, and that probably is frustrating, I would imagine, because although I think the world is a lot more tolerant of less traditionally manly displaying men than it used to be.
Can you? We have people coming over. Can you empty this?
Oh, was that? Yeah, was that Abraham who said that?
Yes.
Oh, it was. Okay.
Quickly before anyone sees it.
One second, I gotta empty my cup full of pee. Cup full of pee, cup full of pee. Everybody wants a cup full of pee.
Only weirdos gather their pee in their shelves.
Okay. Yeah. Well, if it's a chick who's asking you that, your answer should just be, I don't know. Let's find out. One time I asked a lady if she was pregnant.
Stupid.
I'll never ask those type of questions again. It's both, and I get hit on a lot by men. Uh-oh, John Brooks is here, TJ. He's not going to be quite as civilized, I'm sure, about the whole thing. Is John Brooks really Taylor? I bet it really is. You should just piss in the corner like a real man, Eric. Jesus Christ, I do piss in a corner. I just piss
all over the place.
I piss in a cup in a corner.
In the cup, in the kitchen sink, in the bathroom sink, everywhere you're not supposed to pee.
It's just like if a girl says, "Go like I thought it was, I thought I was until I saw you," and then go like that. Amber says, John Brooks, you invited me to prom and then nada. Yeah, well, I guess John didn't have a corsage. She was embarrassed. No corsage. Some people just come off that way. I guess I'm one of them or something. I don't know what. I don't think I would necessarily perceive. Oh, where do we go to sign up for a typing session? Oh, it's right there. You just go. You PayPal on there and email me, or email me first if you want. SuartSire@gmail.com and PayPal.me/TWFP is the PayPal address. $100, 75-minute session. And I've got one tomorrow at 2:00. And yeah, that's it. They're always interesting. You know, I think they almost always go really well. People are happy with it. Okay, so let's see what else we got here. I asked my friend if his girl was pregnant and she was nearby, and he was like, no, and I was horrified. Yeah. I was also in the habit of pissing in the bathroom sink. Seems so much more convenient to a tall person. Thank you, Gyro Lamb. I appreciate it. What's weird, though, of course, is Gyro Lamb's a girl. Some people just come off that way. I guess I'm one of them or something. My husband used to pee behind his dresser when he was a kid. That's good. I like that.
I bet Eric does that, too.
I'm joking, Gyro Lamb. I know you're not. If you were, you'd be a really tall girl to pee in the sink. I don't know, Eric, but this is getting annoying with the timing of the lives because I'm going to have to go to sleep soon. Oh, how might Amber acquire a t-shirt? Do we have any t-shirts, Kevin?
Yeah, well, yeah. I'm trying to get things situated with our current situation so that I can get everything together so I can start making the t-shirts. Tell her to send me what size she wants and
triple extra large.
What her favorite color is.
Lime green. That's what she says, Kim. Triple extra large lime green. Okay.
Did she really say that?
Yeah. That's what Amber said. I suppose, apparently the camera's very slimming. She's actually like 400 pounds.
Why would you say something like that?
I'm just joking,
That's
Kim.
not something to joke about, obviously, when guy said to his friend, is your girl pregnant? Why would you even joke about that with a woman, Eric?
Amber is obviously...
You don't know.
But have you looked at Amber? If there was anything like remotely chubby about her, I would have chosen a different angle of joke.
Just choose a different angle.
Jesus Christ, so scoldy. Here comes the FE police. Thanks, Curtis. I appreciate it. That's right. Here come the FE police. Great. Okay.
Oh, Curtis.
She says she will patiently await the situation being situated. I think that's probably the best choice.
No, I'll send one. She just
we will. Yeah, okay.
She says she wants. I have a couple.
You got to email Kimberly the thing, or go be her Facebook friend. Then if you deal with Kimberly directly, you'll end up with a shirt a lot better than if you go via this. Yeah, that's how. Okay. I mean, she okay. She doing okay. Her feeling's good. Just think about it. Hello. Just think about it. Good idea, Amber. Messaging Kim is a good idea. So, Joey Joe Shabadoo's husband the other night, just yesterday, I think it was, peed in the fireplace, and then in her drinking cup beside her bed. And a month ago, her 6-year-old did the same thing. So Joey Joe Shabadoo cleans up a lot of pee, I guess is the story there.
Well, I clean a lot of poop and barf from the animals. I don't need to be cleaning it from my 48-year-old fiance.
You don't. Police versus criminals. Who wins? Well, it depends on the instance, I guess. You see, that battle's fought over and over again every time there's committed a crime. Living with males is brutal, says Joey Joe Shabadoo. Living with males is brutal?
It is.
I'll tell you what's brutal. Living with women is brutal. I have 2 of them in the house. I've multiple. There's Red, too. She's a woman. She's a very sensual chicken. And there's also Pee-Pee. She's a woman. And Violet. There's 5 women in my life. And for another few hours, maybe, there's what's her name? Captain Squeevers. So anyway, that's a lot of women. My daughter's a woman. My wife's a woman. My animals are women. If she is, then she's going to the pound in the morning. Don't generalize. I've had female roommates who are absolute slobs. Delilah's an absolute slob, and she's a female. Her room is it's insane. Hazard. Yeah, it's like all crap except for like the thin path.
No, not even that anymore.
It's not even a thing. It's just all crap. You just walk over her crap when you walk into the room. Shall we? I go in to reset the internet. She'll go, "Don't step on my clothes," but there's nothing else to step on. There's no floor to step on. It's just clothes and other shit.
Clothes and crap and food and
Annetta
bags
H.
and shoes and.
Annetta H says, "I just spend 15 minutes a day cleaning and it stays clean." That's very TE of you, Annetta H. Very TE. Don't generalize. Oh, that's a slob, right? Gyro, that's me if I'm honest, says Joey Joe Shabadoo. Joey Joe Shabadoo, I bet you're not messy. I bet it's like you're looking around and there's like one piece of paper on the floor and you're like, "Oh my God, that's me. I am such a slob. My name is Joey Joe Shabadoo, and I'm so sloppy." My 12-year-old is a clean freak, loves organizing. A labeler is her best friend. Well, that's probably get yourself an ESFJ or an ESTJ maybe, or ISTJ. Are INFJs clean? Not really. But they're clean enough to have company over. They're clean when they have to have company over, maybe.
ISFJs?
No, I'm talking about INFJs.
Oh.
I mean, they have 8-slot SI. They use it to facilitate their NI. And if they can't manage to construct an NIFE scene that's adequate, then they'll probably clean up until it is. I think EXTJs hate our NE. No, I don't think so. I think they like our NE. I think ESTJs like our NE. I think ENTJs don't like our NE. I decently clean. I'm clean enough to have company as well. In grade 3, my desk was such a mess. My teacher picked the desk up and dumped its contents on the floor in front of the class to make a point. Well, Curtis, I hope you cleaned your desk after that. I hope you learned your lesson. My kids immediately ask who's coming over if they catch me vacuuming. That's funny. I say picked up, but deep cleaning doesn't happen often. I do good cleaning a lot. I cleaned today, I vacuumed. Kimberly was making a mess as usual, and I was cleaning up after her. She's not paying attention. I'm ISTJ and I'm messy as fuck. It still remains to be determined, Curtis, if you're ISTJ. Keep telling everybody that. You might be, but that's not very ISTJ of you. Mean teacher. Hello, I'm mean teacher. Welcome to class, children. Get ready for the worst year of your life. Asher Oak does us the favor of washing his junk every 40 days to stay fresh. Good job, Asher. I think that's what Jesus would do as well. I think that's what he, when he's out without any food or water for 40 days, he also didn't wash his junk. Kimberly, what are we doing this evening? Oh, we're having company over, huh? Are you going to feed us any food?
There's food in the kitchen.
Oh, okay. The pot roast and stuff? Just every other time, huh? That's good.
Abraham's here.
Biome. Is that your smell? Your personal odor? Your fragrance to self?
Abe's here.
Okay. So is he coming back here, or what? Are you going to go over there and meet him, or what? Kimberly, do you enjoy cooking?
Yes.
She says yes. I respect the life of all organisms, Joey. May the bacteria live on. Sometimes, every time. Obviously. I've been trying to make this video today about about the songwriting process that I do. And it's been interesting because it's a much more self-aware process when you're doing it on a video, even though you kind of get lost in it. It's going to take a lot of editing. I feel like I'm almost like not making a real song, like I'm making a demonstration song or something, which is strange, but I don't know. I guess I have to reflect on it more. It's an odd experience. Okay, I guess I'm feeling fairly low energy this evening. Let's see. Eric, do you think that is because you are externalizing an internal process? That's an interesting question. I'm just not used to. I think I'm not used to having the FE in the mix. I guess maybe.
Can you help?
What? No, come on in. They can move the gate themselves. They're not babies.
You're a baby.
Can you say something with substance, though? That's talking to famous people.
Hello.
Oh, Thank you. I need this right now so bad.
What is up, Eric?
Hi.
Hi,
Sorry,
Abraham. Well, Abraham's here to save the day for me, John Brooks.
Yeah.
He's full of things of substance.
Come in, Abe.
I guess it's that it has something to do with
There's another chair. Oh, there it is.
it has something to do with the fact that it's not entirely organic, the construction of it.
How are you?
Normally it correlates with my whim to some extent.
Okay, you have company.
I don't feel any obligation. Okay. Abraham's here. Hi, Abraham. Abraham and his Azam. ESFJ, construction worker, bringer of the funk. All right, I guess I will get off of this live stream in order to engage with my company. Kimberly's got.
Gonna get better.
I mean, we really should just let the live stream roll a little bit here, Kim, and see. Hi, how's it going? How are you this evening?
Great. How you doing?
Do you two know each
I'm
other?
doing fine.
Yeah, I think you remember me.
I remember you.
Carlos.
I remember you.
Eric, Carlos. Carlos and I go way back.
I'm Carlos. Abraham's looking sexy as fuck. Yeah, he is. Carlos is too.
Yeah. Been a while since I've been.
There he is.
Really? What? You have alcohol.
What?
You have alcohol.
Like what?
No.
Like you want alcohol?
Yeah, there's alcohol.
Do you want some of this?
No, that's for you.
Well, why didn't you get yourself something?
Well, because
Why?
I don't know. Because
I
I didn't think
have-
about me.
Like, do you want like hard alcohol?
Just whatever you have.
Like hard alcohol?
Yeah, whatever's cool.
We do have hard alcohol.
It's like 80, so you have to come with me.
Oh, oh,
Let me finish this one because
Eric,
it's
this
partially burning.
is Carlos.
I remember
My
Carlos.
beloved friend. My beloved best friend.
I remember him from such years as previous years from today.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Yeah. Okay, come here.
Yeah, I'll be back.
Here, Carlos, you want a bong rip?
Sure.
I am going to party like there's no tomorrow with intoxicating vapors. Amber's last name is B.
Typing search for $100. What do you mean by that?
I mean, I meet with people and tell them what type they are after I talk to them for a while, you know. I figure out what type they are and then tell them and then explain it. Amber's last name is Bamber. Bamber. Her middle name is Bo. We've already gone over that in a previous episode. Yeah. You know, I'm going to share a little bit of a family secret for the Bamber family. Is they were once called the Bamber bitches, but one of the census years they left the bitch off, and ever since they've been the Bambers. Little known fact. Little known. No, that's not her maiden name. Her maiden name was also Bamber, but they were unrelated. Okay. Odd coincidence. Her name didn't change when she got married because she found another unrelated Bamber family to mate with their children. Your real name is Stinu Moriera. No, I wasn't kidding. That is her real name. It's her married name and her maiden name. So when you put them together, she's actually Amber Bamber is what she signs on the check and stuff. It's people sometimes question. They go, "Is that really your name, Amber Bamber?" She says, yeah, it is. She's a little embarrassed about it. I told her the other day she Facebook messaged me, Eric, can you please help me? I'm feeling embarrassed about my name. I said, Amber, you go out there and you tell them, listen, the Bamber family has a long and important history in America. Do you know that they were Bambers on the very first ship, the Mayflower? There were. Do you know there were Bambers who were with the pioneers traveling west? There were. Do you know there were Bambers in the 49ers in California mining gold? There were. And now I am a proud representation of two different lines of Bambers. It really is, yeah. Do you know there was a Bamber in the Donner Party? One of Amber's relatives was in the Donner Party. It was one of the people who got eaten, actually. My real name is Jacob Scadius Otiorisuro. That's a hard one to say. Dodamtion. Who's the Dodamtions? I don't know there. No, you're well, okay. You see, in your family's actually, this is the key. I should have explained this better. You are actually a part of the Bamber family, okay? You married into the Bamber family. Their last name is Bamber, but your middle name is Bo. So now you see what I'm saying? Now you see why the confusion. Okay. But anyway, yeah, as one of the members on the advisory board for the Bamber Historical Society, I happen to know a lot about the Bambers. This is all true. You know that Sacagawea, when she was with Lewis and Clark, she was also with Joseph Bamber, who you don't hear about much in history class, but he actually... people on the trip said he carried Lewis the whole way. Like, not literally carried him, but like he carried all of his failures. He made up, he covered for his ass. And then when they got back, it's like Lewis was like, oh, okay, no, I'm fine now. I'm fine now that we're home. Oh yeah, I was a big hero. Well, Bamber started drinking, and it was never the same after that. Never the same man. He was, well, yeah, he became mute on the trip back. He got infected with some kind of, East Colorado fever that caused him to cause his tongue to become a square, a cube. Cube tongue fever, they call it.
No.
Anyway, cube tongue fever also affects the voice box. The vocal
you have company
cords.
now. Say goodbye to your friends.
No, it's fine. It's fine.
Of course they're going to say that.
Kimberly, you're on camera.
I don't care.
Yeah, Kimberly doesn't care. She's very fussy about everything. That was Amber's great granddaddy, I think.
Thank
Or
you. This is good.
at least her great granddaddy-in-law. All right, well, so right now, Abraham, I'm not gonna listen to Kimberly, but instead I'm gonna include you more in the live stream. Abraham, tell us, when did you first learn about Sacagawea and your trip with Lewis and Clark?
Sacagawea?
Yeah, Indian guide, Sacagawea.
I have no fucking idea who that is.
How are you, Carlos? You familiar with Sacagawea?
Yeah, second, third grade.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You remember that? I thought Sacagawea was like
Aren't
fucking
you the ones who like travel the west?
Sacagawea helped Lewis and Clark get all the way to Oregon, if I remember correctly. Let me just Google it. Sacagawea.
It's a female.
Yeah, it's a female. So, the Indian lady. She helped Lewis and Clark. She helped Lewis and Clark.
I think that's what I said.
You want one of my Marlboros?
Oh, you want a mint? You're asking for
Because I remember when you guys were removing all the stuff.
There were some ones that you didn't like, Kim.
I'm very picky. It's what it is.
I have long since smoked those, Abraham.
And somebody else would. Did you want a cigarette?
No, I'm okay. I actually don't smoke cigarettes. Ever since I became a laborer, you know.
Yeah. So Juan Pablo's in the house.
Juan Pablo's in his house.
Juan Pablo is the secret smoker in the house.
So, Sacagawea is a hero for us all. I guess is the moral of the story tonight. She does have a $1 coin. You're right, Sheila.
Kimberly made it for me.
Is it pretty strong?
No, Kimberly made it. You would know. You made it for me.
I know, but you poured the vodka.
I'm trying to.
He's trying to not say that, Kimberly. Trying to be all on the DL.
Why? Whose side he's hiding from?
Nobody. I'm just trying to.
The internet police.
Probably.
Kimberly, are you a lefty or a righty?
I am a righty.
Like, what do you mean, politically or like hand-wise?
Care, just answer.
Do you think Sport Hands is a lefty or a righty?
I think we could figure that out, actually.
A jacker offer.
No, Sport Hands is a lefty. See?
You know who that is, though?
That's Sport Hands right there. He's an important guy. He's an important contributor.
Mm-hmm. Before I came into the picture, that was Eric's best friend.
Sheila's a lefty. Who else is a lefty in here? Just think about it's a lefty. Sacagawea, lefty. Lewis, right-handed. Clark, lefty. Joseph Bamber was ambidextrous.
Handbone says it's a big glass. Heck yeah, it is. I am putting them away tonight.
Amber's a lefty. Amber be considered pitching. There's always a need for left-handed pitchers. John Brooks, you do not fab with your left. Nobody fabs with their offhand. Everybody knows that. I've heard a lot of lefties are INFJs. Well, I'm right-handed, and I'm here to say being right-handed is totally better.
Eric, you need to find a topic.
Yeah, no. Just blah, blah, blah.
I'm reading the chat out loud. Anyone else start out as a lefty and forced to switch in early education? Oh, forced to switch. No, I don't think they do that anymore. They used to do that a long time ago, but I mean, I don't think maybe they still did it a little bit when I was a kid, but very little.
Hey Eric, what did you make a response to that girl who made a parody video or something?
Oh yeah.
I mean, I sort of, yeah. We me and Anthony watched it and commented on it.
What is your personal thoughts on that channel? Like the basis of that channel.
Her channel?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know what it well, she said she's an ENFJ. If anybody in the chat has any comments or thoughts about Sarah MBTI, I'm interested in talking about that. Oh my God. So I guess it's an MBTI channel, but she does a lot of vloggy kind of stuff. What are your thoughts, Abraham?
Well, I don't think she's ENFJ.
You don't think so?
I mean, if she's
That's her?
Yeah.
If her channel was based off of
Why is she doing
why
that?
is she spreading her ass cheeks like that in the mud? Is that a kink? Is that a kink?
I think she's just showing how flexible she is.
It's bizarre.
Why is it important to show how flexible you are?
I don't
Turn men
know.
on? I don't know.
To turn men on.
You think so?
I mean,
She likes the attention that it brings to men.
Well, I guess I'm gonna have to type policer. Like this one, as I scroll down here, I ended up clicking this one only to discover that it doesn't actually show her at all in the video. And then I click this one. Why? Because she looks like she's got big boobs in these ones. But anyway,
How obnoxious.
I mean, he's not wrong.
so I'm just pointing out that that does work.
She does have.
It does work as a well, in part because look.
See,
Like-
but Kimberly, you have to realize that a lot of times people post like thumbnails like that because they get people like Eric to click on them, you know. Like if there's boobs.
Right.
I mean, exactly. Even Carlos agreed. Like, click.
No, I know. It doesn't matter where we are, what time of day, what state of mood Eric's in. If he sees a pair of boobs, it's like,
Can't believe that's not true. Like this one though, right there. Okay. Anyway, I don't know. You don't think she's on ENFJ, huh? I have to type police her, I guess. She's got approximately a similar number of total views to her channel than I have, and a similar joining date too. Interestingly enough, we have some corollaries. Okay, so I guess I'm gonna call it a
music to makeup. I wonder what Kim thinks of her. Who?
who's music to makeup? Is that a person? Or is that a person in here? I can't tell. Okay, so
Amber Oaks?
I'm going to call it a live stream. And
I don't know, Sheila. Ask the question again later. Eric's obviously cutting it off because he doesn't think your question is important enough.
You're so petty. I kind of like that, but damn, Kimberly. Sorry.
that's okay.
Is that a heater?
Yeah.
I just like to get Eric's goat.
Bye, everybody.
Fucking Kimberly.